Kshitij Aditya is a VR surgeon currently based in Varanasi. And he's starting his own center in his hometown Mao in East Uttar Pradesh. So he's the right candidate to talk on this topic, branching out the reasons to start your own endeavors. So over to
Hi, am I audible?
yeah, yes, you are. You can share your screen.
Yeah, yeah. Is it visible now?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah. So, hi everybody. My topic today is branching out, reason to start your own endeavors. Disclaimer: this is a fairly subjective view of the whole scenario, and this experiences and everything may vary from one person to another. So, whatever I'm going to say may not apply to everybody in every situation. So let's have a look at the types of ophthalmology career in India. So there is a government medical college job. The type of government colleges I'll consider as a prestige or non-prestige. For example, I'll say prestige colleges are like AIMS and PGI, and rest are like not up to that mark. Then there are non-government institutes, which are again non-prestige, or corporate. Then there is private practice, which can be individual or a group practice with a mix of hybrid, as totally independent and with freelancing. So let's go to the government medical college job. Uh, the types, as I said, it could be a prestige job or a non-prestige institution. And we routinely considered is the advantage of it being a 9 to 5 job. But in a prestige institution, it's rarely 9 to 5 because there are other works. You're included in other committees, and you have a lot of other works which are you're included in. So the work hours tend to extend beyond 9 to 5. So we should be aware of it. Then there is the idea of low stress, but there is a lot of administrative interference in your day-to-day activities apart from your work. So it varies. Again, there is a idea of academic fulfillment, but I must say the academic input and output both are limited or limited to very few institutions, precisely the prestige ones, and majority of the government medical colleges do not stress on the academic activities as much. Surely there is a job security, and the job may suit to different personalities. I would say that in a prestige college, it is good for both static and dynamic individuals. The static who just want to do their work, their routine duties, and just go back home. And the dynamic ones are those who are interested in teaching, in academics. They both flourish. But in the non-prestige colleges, the problem is the dynamics ones don't get to flourish that much because the static ones tend to pull them down due to internal politics and other things. And the non-prestige colleges have a lot of infrastructure hurdles. So coming to the non-government institutes, which are prestige, so there is a high academic output. You work with the best in the class infrastructure, though the monetary incentives are not that much, and there is a moderate to high stress to maintain the quality of care and other extracurricular activities. Growth is very good in certain cases in terms of academics and the international recognition, but monetarily the growth may plateau after a limit. So this COVID pandemic has brought some new perspective about in line with this field, because barring few institutions, a lot of such institutions have resorted to pay cuts, and the doctors have been working, putting themselves in front, taking a lot of risk, and working even more hours than before. But still, they are having to accept the pay cuts. But coming to the non-prestige institutions, that will also include the corporate jobs and private medical colleges jobs. There is a lot of cost cutting in terms of infrastructure. So there will be a huge emphasis on the marketing and the exterior show, but there will be a relatively uh, low standards of ophthalmic infrastructure. So even in the best of the chains, you will not get the absolute high-end machines. And then there is obviously the menace of administration, the human resource people, and the demon of conversion ratios, which you are expected to be at par of. And then there is the objectification of doctor as a dispensable commodity. If you will not work, somebody will else work. And if your pay brackets exceed some certain level, then they can always get somebody who will work at your place for like half a pay scale. Then there is one major issue that I want to highlight, that in these setups, we are hired as consultants, but we are expected to behave and work as an employee while we are not getting employee benefits. Say, for example, we are not getting a comprehensive insurance, we are not getting a, a, a paid CL, EL, those kind of benefits which an employee should get. But we are required to put in the fixed amount of hours, punch in at that time, punch out at that time. So we are expected to work as an employee, but we are hired only as a consultants. So we are not getting the employee benefit part. And most of these places, the academic output is low, but there are definitely exceptions. And according to as far as the COVID goes, even I've heard a lot of my colleagues have experienced pay cuts and even layoffs. Now coming to private practice, there are pros and there are cons. Uh, After initial hurdles, initial investments, the monetary rewards are quite high. You get a certain status in the local community, recognition which is not there in the other corporate jobs or private medical jobs. There is a sense of independence, but obviously you are restrained to by your financials and other things. It may cater to a surgeon's persona to an extent. We should also acknowledge the surgeon needs to be rewarded uh, physically and psychologically as well. And there is autonomy to charity. If you want to do a patient free of charge in any other setup, you may have to go through a long procedure and hurdle. So in a private practice, you can do that certainly. You can prioritize your life choices. You can choose your workload. You can take vacations. Definitely not earlier in your career, but definitely afterwards. Private practice, the cons are there is a high stress. Apart from the work, you have to take care of the financials, the administration of the hospital, the staff salaries, the staff leaves, and everything. You have to oversee everything, and then there are legal hurdles. There is a business perspective of medicine which we are not very aware of in early of our career, nor we are taught about it. Then we have to learn these things on the job. For initial 2 3 years, you don't get time off for yourself or your family, and then there is this aspect of money trap. So there are certain gray areas that you may have to indulge in private practice. A good practice is a good option. It is easiest to establish, but difficult to execute in the long term. So I would just summarize it as this thing, that a job is a job, is a means to an end. It Whatever you do, it does not encompasses or define you as a person as a whole. There are other aspects of your life which should be taken care of as well. So you should know yourself, plan it out, know your background, and that's it from me. Thank you. And this is the center I'm like putting in like next 2 months. So let's see how it goes. I'll share my experience in future talks